formation of the next government is beginning to take shape. It looks like it's going to be Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, with some deputies from the regional group, at least some deputies from the regional group, and perhaps the Healy-Raes, the two Healy-Raes from Kerry. We're joined now by Micheál Healy-Rae, independent TD for Kerry. Michael, I have to say, I was looking at this story last week in the piece I was writing for the Sunday Business Post. I didn't have you in as part of the government, but are you interested in potentially being in there?
Well, you're asking a factual question, so I'll give you a factual answer. Immediately after the votes were literally counted, and the first week after that, myself and my brother made it quite clear that our phones were turned on, and if somebody wanted to speak to us, we would speak to them like we did before on many occasions.
I suppose that's, can I interrupt you? That's probably why I didn't have you in, because you said something similar 5 years ago, and was it 5 years before that? And there was talk maybe you'd be a minister, a junior minister, and ultimately you didn't bite when it came to it.
No, well, you see, I'm sorry, but you were factually incorrect. In 2020, for example, the government had a clear decision. They could go with the Greens or they could have gone with a number of independents, but they chose the Greens. 2016 was a different story again. And but we certainly, I didn't give 73 days in Dublin for nothing, negotiate a programme for government. It was the then Taoiseach, it was his prerogative as to who he wanted in his team, and he didn't choose us. You can't go to a wedding unless you get an invitation.
Okay, so it wasn't your side. You would have gone in then, would you?
We didn't drop any ball. Our job is to represent the people of Kerry in the best way we can. So myself and my brother, very clearly after this election, we said that we would be willing to talk if people wanted to talk to us. And the phone did ring, and we went to Dublin. We had meetings. We had another meeting yesterday with the Taoiseach. It lasted an hour and 20 minutes. And present at that were Johnny, Mara and Jackie Healy-Rae. They're the young Healy-Rae councillors, and both in myself and my brother Denny. And we listened very clearly. And the message is that the government are interested in other words, do they want us to support them? They do. The answer to that then is, well, we're interested if it's for the betterment of the people of Kerry, first of all.
Yeah.
And we want to secure stable government for 5 years. We have a lot of outside forces that are very important. The situation in America, we need to have secure government and a surety of a placement of people in ducks in a row for the next 5 years. But for us to give our support, because we were elected, myself and Denny were elected as independents. And our job is to represent the people of Kerry. If we can do a better job from within government than from outside it, well, we are willing to do that. But if this ball gets dropped, it won't be we'll drop it. Because what we're clearly saying is we're after doing up a programme. We're going to have more meetings between here and the 22nd of January. And our message very clearly to the leaders of both Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, and we obviously get on very good with Micheál Martin and his group, who have excellently formed themselves and are very well positioned to support the government. And there is nobody in Dáil more experienced than Micheál Martin when it comes to matters like this.
Can you envisage a situation where it is Minister Micheál Healy-Rae, or is it more likely you'll do the kind of arrangement that your late father did back in 1997, between 97 and 2002, where he supported the government from the outside, and there was a formal agreement between him and the government, and indeed other independent TDs. Which do you think is more likely for you?
We will work this to the best advantage for the people of Kerry, and whatever that takes is what we will be pushing for.
Okay.
But we are very, very clear that there are issues. We want common sense to be a big part of this government. We feel, and you know I'm not a personally critical person of anybody, but we feel that the last government, because of what I'd call a strong green influence, that it was very one way, one-sided. What we'd be hoping this time is that common sense will prevail, and that you'd have a fairer government that would be more interested in the people.
Yeah,
that we're
no,
elected
the
to
Greens aren't
represent.
here. I should say the Greens would point out that saving the planet is also common sense, but we won't get bogged down on the
Exactly.
Greens.
No, and I'm not saying anything personal against anybody like that. You know,
you've been pretty clear about what your priorities are. I think you said Kerry, Kerry and Kerry, I think was your three priorities. If the government can meet those priorities satisfactorily, do you see yourself voting for Micheál Martin as Taoiseach in January?
Absolutely 100% yes would be the answer to that, provided if they'll keep to the arrangement that we are working towards now, along with, like I say, very important people in this deal as well are the three younger Healy-Raes, the councillors. They worked very, very hard to get elected here in Kerry. They have a massive mandate between the three of them, and we're working with them. This is a Healy-Rae team deal, and the councillors are very, very involved in this, and they're a part of it. And the wants, the needs, and the requirements that they have in their electoral areas are extremely. This is not just about myself and my brother. This is really with an eye to the younger Healy-Raes, and to make sure that they're able to represent their electorate. I know it's all our electorate, but they're very much involved in this process as well.
Micheál Healy-Rae, thank you indeed for talking to Newstalk Breakfast.